What's up everyone, welcome back to the IEP Weekly Update where we dive into what's happening this week in all of our programming tracks. So this week we're going to be going through the Performance Track, the Readiness Track, and our Supplemental Movement Mastery program, which is just about building athletic movement. So getting into it, we're going to start off with the Performance Track, which is our main high-level training for high-level performers. The sessions take about 75 to 90 minutes, so if you have that time, great. If you can't fit the sessions in and this is the program you want to hop on, follow the alphabet. Every day there's a, if you're short on time option, it just says follow the alphabet and stop where you can. This week we're in week 10, which is our deload week. So we're gonna be mixing in a little bit of testing since we just finished the strength cycle. We're gonna be testing our main lifts and then deloading overall volume and intensity for the rest of the week. So we're giving you a little bit more time during the week for recovery and time outside of the gym to prepare yourself, take care of other things, and just overall get to feeling better after 10 hard weeks of training. So Monday is going to be our speed and power day. We're going to start off, the speed in this sense is going to be a primer. So we'll hit a good dynamic warm up, hit some drop-in starts, the lower intensity start. This is kind of a soft / moderate start. You'll kind of hop or skip in and then drive out pretty hard for 10 yards. So we're only working acceleration here, 6 good reps. And we'll get into the barbell warm up, and then our main exercise of the day is power cleans. So we're gonna be testing the power clean here. It should be a clean technical single is what we're building to. So you have warm-ups programmed. If you need more warm-ups, please do so. You're gonna get 3 attempts to find a clean technical 1 rep max on the power clean. So be safe here, use a belt. Don't put yourself into a bad position. Make sure you warm up properly, take care of yourself, do extra warm up if you need to, and then do your best on the performance just to see where you're at. Only accessory piece here is going to be the Nordic hamstring curls. We're going to deload this and do 2 sets of 5, hitting minimal effective dose for this. And then we'll hit a good solid cool down on the back end. Getting into Tuesday, which is our main lower strength day as it has been in this cycle, get a good warm up in, and then we're going to be testing the front squat for our main movement. Only 3 testing sets, so use the warm-up. There's 2 pre-programmed warm-up sets in here. If you need more, do so. If you need more mobility, more prep for your hips, do so as well. Listen to your body, do what you can, and then we're gonna hit a clean, heavy double. So technically sound, when our form breaks down, that's when we need to shut it off. So if you don't use all 3 of the testing sets, that's perfectly okay. I just wanna see where you're at as of today. Our accessory movement is gonna be 2 sets of 10 on the RDLs, and then we're going to get into the capacity prep following that. And then for the capacity piece, we're going to be doing a retest from a previous week of training. This piece is going to be from week 1. It's 3 sets of a sandbag stress carry, sandbag clean over a yoke or a barbell if that's what you have. And then we're going to rest 1 minute in between sets. So we're going to be comparing times overall compared to week 1. So go back, if you've been with us for the whole training cycle, go back and compare your scores and see how you've held up throughout a strength bias cycle. Wednesday is going to be our agility and change of direction day, as well as upper body strength. So we're going to be focusing on the back pedal for this week. This is a skill that we always need to be refining. We never know when we're going to use it, but it's good to have it in our movement library in our head, and that it's something our body knows how to do, and it's not shocked if you ever have to do it. And then for the upper body work, we're going to be deloading it. We're not testing it. No need to push it super hard. Upper body isn't a super emphasized piece for the programming. It's just something we do to maintain balance overall. So we're going to do 3 sets of good clean reps, 3 sets of 5 on bent over row, and then a superset of 3 sets of 5 on close grip bench and 2 sets of 10 pull-ups. If you need to supplement or sub out something for the pull-ups, do lat pull downs at 2 sets of 10 at a good solid weight here if you're not feeling good enough to do pull-ups with your body weight. And then Thursday is going to be our aerobic capacity day where we're going to be retesting something that we did in week 2. So go back to week 2 after you've completed this and compare scores, or if you want to go back and see and set a goal for something you need to either get equal to or beat, feel free to do so. So just hit a good warm-up, get some mobility, get some prehab work, capacity prep, and then the aerobic capacity piece, which is 4 rounds for time of a 400-meter run, 1,000-meter bike erg, no rest between rounds, just loop through that for 4 times. Closing out the main training week, we have our all-around day. Typically, it is max velocity, strength, and capacity. We're not doing any capacity this week. That is just part of the deload. So we are going to be testing the deadlift. We'll prime the whole system with a good warm-up, some power skips, and some easy build-ups for our max velocity work. It's just a gradual build-up for 40 yards. Accelerate, and then build gradually. Essentially, you're accelerating for 40 yards, just slow, steady, working on the technique, working on your movement. And then we'll hit the lift prep. and then we're gonna do deadlift. You have 3 testing sets. We're building a clean, heavy double. So it's not something that we're just trying to grit through. Make sure you have good technique. Once that technique breaks down, that is whenever we shut it down. And then we'll finish off with some horizontal pulling, your choice of whatever exercise, and then seated hamstring curls, 3 sets on the pulls, and then 2 sets on the hamstring curls. And then Saturday is gonna be a complete active recovery day. So no zone 2 on this day. We're only gonna be doing the cardio, the mobility, the prehab work, and then optional deep hip flow for you at the end of it if you need it. So just take the day, or take that day and use it as a recovery day completely to get yourself ready for the upcoming training cycle. Getting into the readiness track, it's gonna be the same structure as it has been. Monday is gonna be our speed and lower strength day. We'll hit minimal effective dose on our acceleration, so 6 reps of drop-in starts. We are gonna be testing 2 lifts on this day. We're gonna see where we're at with our power clean, 3 good testing sets, build up and warm up as needed. There's 2 pre-programmed here on each, the power clean and the front squat. If you need more, please do so. And then we're building to a clean, heavy single on the power clean. Make sure your technique is as close to perfect as you possibly can. Once your technique breaks down or you start compensating other places, shut it down. We're not trying to get hurt in the weight room. We're just trying to see where we're at after this 10-week cycle. And then same thing on the front squat. You have 2 pre-programmed warm-up sets. If you need a couple others or more, feel free to do so. And then you're having 3 attempts for a heavy double on the front squat. And then we'll hit the Nordic hamstring curls on the back end for 2 sets of 5. Tuesday is our high intensity work capacity piece. We're gonna be retesting what we did back in week 1. So if you're with us then, go ahead and compare the times. If you weren't, and you're new to this, completely okay just to go off of it and see where you're at. We may or may not retest this down the road, but it's good to keep it in the bag. Put a note down in your app and be able to keep track of it if we do redo it back or later on in another cycle. And then we'll get into Wednesday, which is our agility and upper body strength day. We're gonna be working the back pedal, which is a skill that we really wanna maintain overall. It's not something we typically do in the field, but it's something we wanna keep in our movement library for the slight chance that it does happen. We've done it in training before, and it's not the first time we're doing it out in a live operation or anything like that. And then we're going to deload the upper body. We're not going to be testing anything here. We just need to maintain what we have and give it a little bit of a break. So we're going to do 3 sets of good clean reps of 5 on the bent over row, and then we're going to do a superset of 3 sets of 5 with close grip bench and 2 sets of 10 on pull-ups. If you need to sub something out, you're not feeling super great to do pull-ups, then just hit lat pull-downs or a band straight arm pull-down, something like that, just to get the vertical pulling motion. And then Thursday is going to be our aerobic capacity piece. If you've been with us, we're retesting what we did back in week 2. Nothing super crazy, just 4 sets, 4 time of 400-meter run and 1,000-meter row, no rest in between, just 4 sets of that. We're going to see where your aerobic capacity is over the last 10 weeks. And then getting into Friday is going to be our max velocity and strength day. We're going to be testing the deadlift here, but priming the system first with a good dynamic warm-up, hitting some power skips, and then for the max velocity work is just a 40-yard buildup. So you're gradually building speed for 40 yards. And then on the deadlift, you have 2 pre-programmed warm-up sets. If you need more, feel free to take those. Use a belt, whatever you got to do to help yourself feel good in this. And then we're finding a clean set of 2 here. So once technique breaks down, shut it down. We're just trying to find out where you're at. And then we're going to close out the day with our accessory work, which is your choice of a horizontal pull, whatever machine modality you want to do for a horizontal pull. So that means we're pulling midline this way. And then we're going to do barbell RDLs for 2 sets of 10 along with the horizontal pulling. So barbell RDL doesn't have to be super heavy. We're just trying to get a good stretch here, stretch out the hamstrings and just flow through a little bit of a hinge motion. And Saturday is going to be a complete active recovery day. So no supplemental work here, different than what we've done in the past. All we're going to do is hit 5 minutes of a good little cardio warm up, whatever modality you want to do, hit some mobility work, hit some prehab work, and then optional at the end is some yoga, a guided video that'll guide you through some hip dominant yoga that'll help open you up a little bit and help you feel a little bit more recovered. Last but not least, we have our movement mastery program. This is our supplemental athletic movement program. So it's all movement, no weightlifting or anything like that. The only exercise that is gym focused is the Nordic hamstring curls that we have on Monday. So Monday is going to be our acceleration day. Start off with a good warm up. We're kind of mixing in a little bit of sprint mechanics here at the very end of it, but prepping the post chain and everything we're going to be using specifically in sprints. And we're going to hit some sprinter holds where we hold our knee up and really work the hip flexor and our posture throughout that. So 3 sets of 10 each side there. Really dial in the sprint mechanics with some dedicated work here. We're going to have 4 to 5 drills and just really work on high quality. You shouldn't be gassed out from this. If you need more rest in between, please take some extra time, but really work the technique. This is a skill session right here. And then our main exercise is going to be minimal effective dose of drop-in sprint, so get a hop or skip in and then drive out for 10 yards. Just 6 good reps, 1 minute rest minimum after each rep. And then you'll close out the session with 2 sets of 5 on Nordic hamstring curls. Wednesday is going to be back pedal focused for our agility work. Again, this is a skill session here, so we're not trying to go super intense this week. We're working some line hops just to prime everything, do some actual back pedals just to work the technique, build up speed each one. If you need to do more reps other than the 4 sets of 10 yards, go ahead and do so. It's super low intensity, so you should just be working skills here. And then we're going to do a back pedal turn and sprint. So we're going to back pedal, open up 180 degrees and sprint straight back for 10 yards. So working on opening the hips and transitioning straight back, trying to keep a straight line as possible. And then getting into Friday, it's our max velocity day. Hit a good dynamic warm up, and then we're going to work some max velocity posture hold. So our posture, but we're adding a band to it. So similar drill as the sprinter holds on Monday. All we're doing is adding a band and really working on maintaining that post chain and that hip flexor and that knee drive throughout that position. And then we're going to prime everything with some power skips, just 2 sets of 20, going from max height each skip, so quick off the ground, explode straight up. And then our main exercise is just kind of backing off a little bit. We're going to do build ups. So 4 reps, 40-yard build ups where you gradually build up across for 40 yards. About the last 10 to 5 yards, you should be at max velocity and just hold and then let off the gas and cruise out. So take this week, allow for more recovery. If you have extra time at the end of the session should be less intense and less in duration overall. So take that extra time to recover. Make sure you're eating well, hydrating well, taking care of your bodies, and really use today, Sunday, the rest day, to spend time with your family, get away from work and refresh yourself and prepare yourself to attack this deload week. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're always here to help. If you're in the app, DMs are the best way to get a hold of me. I see those pop up like a text message and I check them every single day, multiple times a day. If you're not on the program and you have any questions, if you're interested in getting a team program customized for you and your team and your op tempo and schedules, please reach out to us either through a contact us form page or a support email. But we're always here to help, and we want to build the best programs and best opportunity and provide the best opportunities for all of our friends and those in the law enforcement community to have the best training they can possibly can. Until next week, stay safe, train smart.